Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all the principals, academic heads, and school leaders of
Afternoon.
Geetanjali Group of Institutions joining us today for the Skillveda Leadership Development Program. In today's session on leadership excellence and future school management, we will explore 5 key areas every school leader needs: transformational leadership techniques to lead with impact, strategic planning and vision building to set clear direction, team management and staff motivation to build high-performing teams, change management to handle transitions smoothly, and effective communication for a stronger engagement with parents, staff, and the board. This is a practical discussion-based session, so please share your experiences and questions as we go. At Skillveda, we believe empowering skills shapes futures, and it begins with empowering leaders like you. Let's get started. Let's extend a warm welcome to Dr. Samriti Mahajan, our expert trainer, an educationist and consultant with more than 18 years of experience in education. She is all set to guide you through this learning journey. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Dr. Samriti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Twinkle, for such a nice introduction. And I am pleased to be here with such a uplifted profiles of the world, the principals who build nation, who create students, and who give birth to many other domain. So a very good afternoon, respected principals. Before we begin, I would just like you to look at this. Wait, let me just share a screen. Give me a second. So this we would be talking about. Dr. Twinkle, I would be requiring your support just to check that whether the slides are...
Yes, I'm here. Don't worry. I'm here.
Yes. So if we go to next one, is it moving?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Great. Thank you. Because that is the thing we always
I
get
know.
stuck into. Thank you. And by any case, if it doesn't move, please do let me know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So today we are here to discuss about the transformational leadership. So we all are leaders, right? And for you all, I have just mentioned a small quotation that is, the drops of rain make a hole in the stone, not by violence, but by often falling again and again. So similarly, what is leadership that we need to know, and how a beautiful leadership lesson we are going to learn. Schools are not transformed through one policy, and teachers are not motivated through one meeting. And even when we talk about school, when we talk about teachers, then why to forget about our students? So students are not inspired through one speech. So transformation happens through consistency, by again and again. So every day, our words, actions, decisions, and even attitude that shape the culture of our school, which we have. So today we are going to discuss a leadership style that has the power to transform teachers, students, parents, and our entire institution. And that leadership style is called the transformational leadership, where we are transforming the whole structure, transforming our whole stakeholders. So that would be the transformational leadership. Now, I just wanted to know that how many of you believe that leadership today is far more challenging than it was 10 years ago? I would like my principals to have an interactive session so that we can really ponder on the transformation, this workshop.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is
Yeah,
Rekha here.
yeah,
So
ma'am.
yes, it has become challenging in the sense in every different aspects, ma'am, because leadership itself is a very heavy word. And now the way things are coming up one after the other, so it has their own different way of putting it. So absolutely it is challenging, but it is on the person also how you take it and how you solve it.
Yes. So we can see that Rekha ma'am has already told that yes, it has been very challenging. When if we start comparing the 10 years ago area and now, so it has changed. The scenarios has changed totally. So our leadership has changed. And that is known as transformation. We need to transform according to our stakeholders. So now we'll just see that what leaders are there. So we all know he is. And if we can just participate and tell a bit about who this leader was. Everyone is aware.
Can I again, ma'am?
Yeah, ma'am, please go ahead. You will get the bonus point
Rekha
for that.
and Shweta ji will be always there.
I would really love to have an interaction
Yeah,
now
they are
rather
very,
than
everybody,
thinking of.
actually, Samriti, everybody is very interactive. This is the just initial we have started.
Now, even
So they
Gayatri
will,
ma'am, if will come, she will also start, or Indra ma'am will also start, they all will start.
it's
So
good, it's
here,
good.
the leader, what you are talking, it can be both the pros and the cons, ma'am. See, every person takes the leader as their own aspects. Like if you will talk about me, then I can take Gandhiji was a very good leader.
Yes.
In this way, he has done all the movements, all the movements during for the our independence. But now if I am an extremist, then I will not go with Gandhiji because Gandhiji was a moderate person. So
Yes.
Netaji was totally different. So you can understand every person looks at the leader as the way of their point of view, and they want to take it up. So every person has,
Has
like,
a
I
different
love Hitler.
perspective, yeah. Everyone has a
I
different
love Hitler
perspective.
a lot.
Same here,
So
me too.
it can be another thing, ma'am.
So in this picture, I have Hitler was more of a democratic leader, right? So he had totally different leadership traits. So we have Mother Teresa, we have Sachin Tendulkar, we have Warren Buffett. So we have different leaders all across that people are well aware of these faces. So now we are today talking about that what type of leaders are we, right? So we would be discussing in this agenda about the different leadership theories. Then what is transformational leadership? That how we need to imbibe those leadership qualities into us. Then we would be talking about a total process, that what process is there for getting into the transformational leadership. And then 4 I's of transformational leadership. Then there would be few assumptions we would be discussing, being on principles here, that what could be the assumptions of the teachers, stakeholders, students, parents, what they require. So we would be discussing on those. Then there would be some components I would be sharing, and then there would be we would be doing some competency mapping, and then how the personalities and its effects really work upon into our institute, into our school system, and how the implementation needs to be done. And then there would be some values and value system, because everyone belongs from different region, different areas. So there would be different cultural scenarios, different process alignments. So we would be working on those things. And then there would be at the last, the conclusion that whatever we have done into this agenda. So I guess it has just stuck here only. Yes. So first we'll go through the leadership theories. So that what is exactly the leadership theories? For many years, leadership was just based on the authority. A leader who would say that, do this because I am your boss. And people always obeyed that because they had no options that time. But today's educational environment has totally changed. Teachers are highly educated, parents are well informed, students are empowered, and even the authorities alone is no longer enough there. So today people follow the leaders because they trust them. The trust is the main parameter between connection of both the principal, or we can say the other stakeholders. So we need to think about our own school. And even we have this thing that do teachers work hard because they fear you? So that should not be there. Or because they believe in your vision. Are they hand holding your vision and the school's vision with you? So that we need to see and that we need to align. And if we are able to crack this thing, that whether my teachers are working hard because they have this fear factor in their mind, either I can lose my job, either I'll not get appraisals, either I'll not get some cookie points, right? Or either my achievements would not be highlighted. Or we need to see that whether they are working with me because I'm a good leader to them and they believe in me as a person, as a leader, and whatever my vision is for my school, so they are aligned to that. So that difference, once you are aware, is going to determine whether we are managers or leaders. So there is a very small, or we can say a thin line between managing the things on being chaired or either becoming the good leaders. Leaders always promote others to come forward. Leaders always promote their team to work for them and they just give importance to them. But when we talk about the managers, so managers are those people who just want everything for themselves. So that we need to know that whether we are positive leaders, whether we are empowering them, whether we have given them the things what they really want, whether we are motivating them. So that is the thing, because whenever we talk about in management itself, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that how the needs are arising, everyone who is working, so they have different categorization, and this pyramid always work from the safety needs till the self-actualization. And self-actualization is when my peer members, my colleagues, my students, my teachers, my staff members, they start believing me. Only then I would be able to achieve those parameters. Only then I would be considered as a good leader or as a good principal in that institution. So we need to see those things. Moving ahead. So here is a situation that, have you ever been in a group, or we can say situation, where someone just took control of the situation by conveying a clear vision of the group's goal? The total vision is there. Or we can say a marked passion for the work and an ability to make the rest of the group feel recharged and energized. So if this thing has happened with any of the principals, so we can just take an example of that.
I'll raise my hand first. Wait.
Please take your time. You guys can.
You should take initiative.
So generally, what happened, ma'am, as a principal, any activity, let it be anything, even if you give a group work, especially it comes when we have to give a very clear thing with the coordinators, because they are the people, we always give the work to the coordinators, right? If I'm going with a proper hierarchy level. So there what happens is, for example, I'll talk about a very naive example of orientation program. Okay. Now, orientation program is the first initiative which we take as the academic starts. So I have some level that this is the way the orientation should go. I have given the duty roster has been signed, everything has been done, all things are over. Now, on that day, something happened. And that is, for me, it is very major. For them, it is very minor. But I know what will be the consequences later on. So at that time, my way of talking should be in such a way that you understand this was the vision to control the future aspects which can come up with these few lines which you have conveyed in the orientation, rather than coming to the conclusion. You're understanding? Sometimes what we do is we just stay and the teacher said, ma'am, they will forget. Absolutely wrong. It stays in their mind, and future you don't even expect when it will happen. So at that time, very nicely, we have to stand still in spite of taking all our temper and everything, and we have to make them understand, convey them that it has to go like this, bits and bits and bits. We cannot tell them in one go, at one go. We have to go bits and bits and bits, and then they will understand. And 200% sure, as a leader, if we are conveying the way we want to work, we have to have the patience, because slowly they will understand that this is the way ma'am wants the work to be done. So it will take time. एक बार में ये कभी नहीं होगा. It will take time. You have to wait.
The
Then,
question which I wrote in the first slide,
yes,
right?
and ma'am, this is very important. I will tell you very good example that it's when a class walks, you can make out that this who will be the class teacher. So when a leader walks, if she is not present in the school, you can make out with the school they work that the leader has created 5 leaders in the school and the school is working.
True.
This is the way you have to convey your vision to the team. It's my way.
Yes. So you have very nicely mentioned that perhaps there could be a teacher, a principal, or a mentor, right? Who have already transformed your vision into the sub channels, right? So that needs to be done, and it cannot be happen with a blink of an eye, but it will have a continuous process. So that process needs to be implemented properly in a very well-mannered way. So that is where things come up, because we always need to see that what are the different gaps coming. What happened? We do one certain thing and then we forgot. But whenever one event has been done, we should sit together as a team and we need to work on those gaps. That what was the gap? What was the missing link in this that we can come and we can create a different benchmark, right? So that needs to be worked, and that is a role of a leader. That's how we transform the things, and we as principals needs to work into that transformation. Transformation should not be done only for my individual goal, for my self-esteem, but it should be for my team. We need to work for our own team. Moving ahead. So transformational leader, if we talk, or we are going to talk about the transformational leadership. That is a difference. So transformational leadership is a leadership style. It's not that if I talk about that, this is a leader. No, this is a style. And I'll not say that everyone would become a leadership, because everyone has different styles according to their organization and how it works in their organization. According to that, the scenarios or things work. So a transformational leader does not simply manage people. And even a transformational leader will just change the way people think. That thinking process needs to be changed. And they help the ordinary people achieve some extraordinary results. Only then we can see the transformational changes. And a transformational principle creates what the principal is going to create: the confident teachers, we can say, the inspired students, because they will get inspired by the subchain. Then after inspired students, the third would be the engaged parents. If our parents are engaged with the school's vision, trust me, the results would be 100%. The school is automatically going to excel in every mark. And the fourth parameter would be a positive school culture. So that is the transformational principles which they create. Confident teachers we create inspired students, we engage parents, and a positive school culture. So transformation begins when people start believing in possibilities. That what could be the possibilities? So that we need to keep in hand. Moving to next. So let us understand that how the things work in actually. So transformational leadership is a process. It is a total process where leaders and followers raise one another to higher levels of motivation and morality. Every day what happens, like yesterday I was just going through my Instagram account and certainly a reel popped up and it was about the corporate. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute, please.
This is a nice topic, Twinkle ma'am. There was some dust hota hai na? Sometimes after working, you have a dust on yourself. Like I talk about myself, I need cleaning. So,
everyone needs cleaning sometimes.
so this is a cleaning session going on for us. But again,
Yes,
we are
yes.
being recalled that what leadership is.
All credit goes to your 𝗙𝗲 ma'am and your chairman.
Thank you to them. Sometimes you feel like that सब तो अच्छा ही कर रहे हैं, like what's going wrong in that, and then suddenly
आप
you.
लिंक्डइन पे चले जाओ, सब अच्छा करते हुए नजर आएंगे लिंक्डइन पे तो.
I agree, I agree. But it's a nice topic actually, where you can, all
Yes.
the leaders today, we are there in the meeting, we can all sit together, and this is something a very controversial plus communicative and nice topic, which
These
can go
things
for hours and hours.
polish everyone. That's the thing. You need polishing once in a while.
Yes, yes, Twinkle Mom, yes.
Pragati ji, you want to say something? You are smiling. Please say something.
I'm so sorry. Actually, since morning, I was occupied with our NBA auditing, external auditing thing was going on. And then I just hopped in one of the class. So AC was not working. So I just asked one of the person to come and switch on the AC. So at least
Okay.
we
Okay, it's
can
okay.
have a
It's
normal
perfectly fine.
session.
It's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yes. So we were talking about the process. So it is a process. It doesn't come automatically. And I was talking about the Instagram reel. So I was just sitting late night. तभी हम लोगों को time मिलता है. So I was just scrolling and I just saw a reel popped up with the thing that 3 दिन तो मैं बहुत अच्छा करती हूँ. 4th day, I don't know what happened. Someone has my Udu doll and someone is giving a pin to that. And my 4th day is blank and very sad. So same thing happened with all of us. 3 days will excel like anything. But the 4th day, we don't know. Something will happen and our energies get demotivated. Similarly, the same thing happened with our teachers, with our students, with our administrative staff as well. So we being leaders, we being the principals, we being the head of the family, we need to take care that whether we are motivating them properly from time to time. Might be the person could be having some bad day or bad thing. So the motivation and morality needs to be channeled up. Still, if my day is going off, I need to motivate the other person. So that should be the thing. Only then the transformation will happen. So sometimes notice something very important. So this definition does not mention about some power. Being principals, we are very power people. No, that should not be the thing. It should be always that a transformational leadership, that process is that it should mention the growth. It should, the leaders should grow, the teachers should grow, the students should grow, and everyone should grow together. So that should be the motive. And that is exactly what successful schools also do. They think of growth not only on individual part, but as a team, as a one family. So we, onto that chair, we need to talk about the leadership of the growth parameters of everyone. Moving ahead. So the transformational leadership 4 I's, which I was talking about. So that always talk about the 4 pillars that are the heart of transformational leadership. First is the idealized influence. So teachers watch us more than they listen to us. थोड़ी देर ही सुनते हैं पर ज्यादातर वो देखते हैं. अच्छा, आर प्रिंसिपल मैम हैज केम टुडे विद दिस माइंडसेट. अच्छा, आज तो बैंड बजने वाली है. सो दैट माइंडसेट वर्क्स and then that thing from one note to another, it like blockchain happens. So similarly that information circulates. So we need to tell them that if we want punctual teachers, we must be punctual first. If we want professionalism, so we must demonstrate the professionalism to them as well. If we want commitment, so we need to demonstrate that commitment to our teachers, to our students, to our management. So people may hear our words, but they always remember our actions. So whatever actions we are taking, we need to be sure of that our actions are in a positive manner, how they are aligned to other things. So now I need to just ask, what leadership behavior do you want your staff to remember about you? any particular leadership that, yes, this ma'am is has been like this, so I would like to reflect as her only, or we can say a role model?
Anyone wants to add something over here?
Just stay committed to the role and your task, which would definitely motivate us, and the consistency that is being projected by the principal will always motivate the teachers or the staff around.
Yes, so ma'am has talked about the consistency, that everything is fine, but the consistent behavior that we need to lead. It should not be of let going the things, right? So that is the first parameter. First, we can say idealized influence, that how we are influencing the followers, how we are influencing the people who are near me. Second, we will be talking about the inspirational motivation, that how we are motivating. So great leaders always inspire hope. How they paint a picture of the future, that what will be the future. They help people see different possibilities. Instead of saying that improve results, we can say that together we can build a school that becomes a benchmark for excellence. So there are very small terminologies we can use, and always vision creates.
Samriti ji, there are some messages in the chat box also, so I am just reading it.
Yes, please.
They are writing empathetic and appreciative in nature, facilitator. Yeah, these two things.
Yes.
And
So we
Rekha ji,
should-
you have raised your hand. You want to ask something?
No, I didn't want to ask, as ma'am has told na, that we have to have
Yes, yes.
I want, even adaptability is very important by the teachers. In spite of leaders speaking, their nature should be adaptability and that ongoing learning process, which generally nowadays the teachers are not having. So in spite of at the end, it is always been told that the leaders
Very
are not
true.
working. Sorry to say that. But we can't tell them that now the teaching profession has become it's like it has become profession. They have not taken it as a passion. So leaders, at the end, it comes to our principal shoulder, but adaptability has gone. They don't adapt what you want to tell them. So the thing what ma'am has told, I think Revati ma'am, if I'm not wrong with the voice. So with that, I'm just telling that adaptability is very important by the teachers, ma'am. In spite of we having all these eyes.
Yes. So adaptability, how the adaptability will come when we are idealizing them. When any from our management hierarchy, the things are coming and we are adapting that in a very positive and firm manner, automatically that chain will start going to the bottom pyramid as well. So they will start adapting that, yes, our leader has adapted in a very positive manner. Bishop, after that, we can take out some points. No, this is not a right management thing. The policies are not in certain manner, but in front of them, we have to adapt those things. We have to showcase a very positive influence, right? So then the adaptability will start coming. Similarly, when I was talking about the inspirational motivation, so we need to inspire them. And how? Because by small verb, we can change from like, you guys need to improve the results. No, it should not be that you guys need to improve the results. I need to see the gap, and then together we need to create or build that school where the results could be improved, where we can benchmark our excellence when the innovation pedagogy is being reflected, right? So I am with you all. So that would be the inspirational channel. Third, we will talk about the third I, that is individualized consideration, that how we are considering them. Every teacher is different, right? Some need appreciation, we can say, some need coaching, and some need the confidence. So transformational leaders treat people as individual always. So we all need to treat our teachers on individual levels. It should not be treated on a same format. And the best principals known not only their teachers' friends, but they should also be well versed of the aspirations my teacher are keeping. According to those aspirations, we need to put them to the task allocation. So that would be the third I, that how we are categorizing or considering the individual person. And the fourth I is intellectual simulation. So great leaders challenge people to think differently. So we being leaders, we need to have my teachers, my parents, my students to think differently how they can be accommodative, right? So instead of giving all the answers, they always ask some powerful questions. For example, we can ask that how can we improve student engagement? Rather than asking that you're not engaging the students. No, let's ask the gap, that what feeling they are having, right? So how we can improve the students' engagement. Second, we can discuss about that how can we make learning more meaningful. So when we say we, so that automatically connect कि अच्छा ठीक है, ma'am is with us. Ma'am is also thinking on the same parameter. They are not putting any fingers on us. उससे the mind start working in a more energized manner. Third, we can talk about that how can we create innovation in classroom, because आजकल हम इसी की बात करते हैं, students are not engaged, they are not coming in the schools, attendance is being less, right? Learning is not meaningful. AICT in this CBSE portals and this, they have created some different pedagogies. So how the learning would be more meaningful, what different skills we need to impart in classrooms. And third, we talk about always the innovation channels, that what skills now we need to give to our students, that they could be more innovative. They could have that startup mind thinking. They should start critically thinking and analyzing the parameters, right? So these questions roam in each and every meeting, whether you have your meetings with your top management or either the bottom faculties. So these questions always roam around in that meeting. So this needs to be discussed more in an intellectual manner rather than just putting the fingers out, because we do not want to challenge anyone there. We need to just ask it in a very positive, or we can say powerful manner, because innovation starts with always curiosity. So automatically every teacher would be ready to answer it in a very positive manner. So these were the 4 I's. And then assumptions we discussed. So now we'll go to the next part, that is the components of transformational leadership. So now what are the different components, how they really work upon, how these things needs to be go hand to hand so that things can be more easy for us to understand. So first component was the transitional leadership, in which we talked about some creative ideas, some clear understanding of current scenario, what is going on into the institutions, what are our prerequisites, do we have a real roadmap to achieve, we are having some certain points that we are going to put it in such a way that my ideation would be there, and then no self-serving motives are there. So that would be the transitional. Then we talk about the transactional leadership. Transactional leadership is where we start planning and following some process-oriented methodologies, where we talk about building the team. The teamwork needs to be there, and it needs to be always supported by our principal. And then we need to identify some expertise in various fields of work, that what my teacher is more expert into. Then the third is the transparent leadership. That is that the congruence between the leadership and the goal. Everything is very clear. Everyone is in charge and they can go through the things. And the fourth component of this transformational leadership is the transcendent leadership. That is that we need to identify the future leader also. Fine, I am principal currently, and now I need to hire up my position as well, right? So who would be the future leader? So I can nominate from my team. So that could be there, because we are not going to sit on the same chair for years. We also need the hierarchy shift. We also need to jump onto the another place on the upper level. So we need to start motivating and guiding the future leader of my prospect, that he can or she can take the chair. So this is the component of transformational leadership that we need to keep in our mind. And what would be the steps for transformational leadership? So it always talk about the 4 different steps. That would be, the first would be developing vision, that how the vision is created, how the things are going to go ahead. Second would be selling the vision. Now, how I need to sell my vision to my teachers, how I need to sell my vision to my parents, to my students, so that we all as a team can work for the school itself. Then we have the roadmap, and fourth would be the leading the charge, that how the charge needs to be lead, how we are going to work into such a manner. So developing vision, when we attract some potential followers, selling the vision, when the vision is created and we have a strong network of high potential stakeholders, roadmap, that how a fair idea about a certain direction me and my school is going to follow and achieve that. And yes, we are ready to accept the failures also, because no achievement is full achievement we consider if we don't fail into that, because once we tumble down, we stand up and then again we move ahead. And leading the charge means that yes, always we are visible, we are stand up to be counted, we have that commitment level, and we are very enthusiastic for any action and any lead we are going to take or move ahead. So these are some competency mappings, how the competency mappings really work, that what we as a leader should have. So modern principals need more than some academic expertise, they need some strategic thinking, that how the different strategies are going to align into my system, into my school. Second would be the emotional intelligence, whether we are connected to the teachers, whether we are able to understand their pain points as well. So that would be. Third would be conflict resolution skills. So we should be very well versed at how the conflicts needs to be resolved easily rather than involving too many people. It should be that, yes, I am onto that position where I can resolve any conflict. Then the fourth would be the relationship management, how I am managing the relationship between different stakeholders. Then adaptability, as two principals talked about the adaptability parameter as well. So yes, we should be very much open to know, imbibe, because we always talk about whenever you are into any academic industry or in any session you go, so you already know the things. So we should always unlearn, relearn, and then learn. So that should be the part. We should always unlearn the things we already know. We should learn the current things, and relearn would be the parameter. Then the network capabilities, that how much networking I am able to make, how much contacts I have. So today's principal is not only any, we can say educator, but today's principal is already a leader, a strategist, a mentor, a communicator, and a change agent. So we have so many of, we can say, positions handling as a single person on this principal's share. So we are leaders, we are strategists, we are mentors, we are mentoring everyone, we are communicators, and we are the change agent, because by this only my school is going to level up and going into the another path. So till now, are we all clear? So we can go ahead to the next slides, because now I can see that principals have just turned off their cameras. Thank you so much, Gitanjali ma'am, Praveena ma'am.
Actually, they are in the school itself, no? That's
I
why.
know.
Yeah.
They are multi-talented principals with learning new things. They are working. Okay. So I just need some reactions or emojis from you all, so that can I just continue further?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. So now we'll talk about the personality and its effects, that how my personality is really going to distinguish or talk about different things. So personality characters are either I am very dominant, either I have a desire to influence, either I am very confident, or I am a person with very strong values. So these are the personality characteristics a person can have. 4 personalities: dominant, desire to influence, confident, and strong values. Then further we go to the behavior, because my personality characters itself mold towards the behavior, how I am going to align or showcase myself to the people and how my actions would be reflected. So we have this theory of behavior analysis, TPB model, into our research area, where it talks about whatever personality characters a person is taking, according to that, the behavior or actions are molded, right? So how the behaviors would be molded? Because we always set some strong role model. We always have that we can show our competencies. We articulate the goals and set very high expectations, because I'm a very confident, I am a strong with strong values. And fourth behavior which I will reflect, that would be I would be investing into the confidence, because that will always motivate. So that would be my behavior traits. And how these characteristics and behavior traits will affect on my followers with trust in their leadership and ideology. They'll start trusting you automatically with these behaviors and personality characteristics. They will have the identification with leader. They will start having emotional involvement. Your pain, they would be able to understand and feel more rationally, in a more aligned way. They would be with a heightened goal orientation. Whatever is your vision, your school's vision, they will start aligning to achieve it. And then they would have the affection towards the leaders, affection towards you as a principal. And there would be the 6th parameter, unquestioning acceptance. They will not question any of your decision. They will start accepting it if you show certain behaviors and certain personality characters to them as leaders. So now we'll move to that, how the implementation and affects the transformational leadership. So we need to provide ideas as to what a leader should be in a transforming environment, how my vision statements are created in a discussion mode, that how a principal is very consistent in communicating who are we, what do we stand for, what are we going to, right? So that will give a clear picture. And then it should be reflected in every meeting, every assembly, in every interaction. So because leadership is a repetition of purpose. So in every meeting, where are we? We should always talk about these parameters. We should show those behavior. Only then my school will, or my teachers will learn from me. Now we will move to effect of transformational leadership, that how it generally affects, how my leadership theory will affect the total organizational structure. So what are the different groups which come under this transformational leadership? They would always be higher with high performance. They will be ready with extra efforts wherever it needs to be done. They would have more solution to some problem. They would have a supportive remarks. They would have some original solutions as well. And in the end, everyone works for their own satisfaction. In end of the day, one person needs to go back to the bed for their own satisfaction, that yes, today I have done something very nice. I am satisfied with my decision. These people got higher motivation. So that is the effect. The satisfaction is the core part a leader will always get once they transform into different segments. This will skip. Okay. Self-sacrifice and transformational leadership. So history always remembers leaders who have served others. Like in the first slide, we saw Mahatma Gandhi. We saw Mother Teresa, right? And we have Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So they did some self-sacrifice as well. So we being on principal's position, we need sometimes to do self-sacrifice as well. Because if we are not doing any sacrifice, we are not coming into the transformational leadership. Because their influence come from values if we are doing that. People trusted these leaders because they put mission before their self-interest. Mahatma Gandhi never thought about his own thing. Mother Teresa never thought of her own self-interest. They thought about people. So similarly, sitting on a higher chair, we need to think about my own people. Now, who are my people? My teachers are my people. My students are my people. My parents are my people, right? And even the staff who are working for us, so they are my people. So what is their interest area? I need to work for them, not for my own self-motivation, not for my bank account to reflect 7 or 8 digits every month salary credited, right? So it should not be there. So we need to work for the others' self-interest. And even the same principle applies in schools as well. So when teachers see leaders taking responsibility, the trust automatically start increasing. Followers start coming. Even the parents start hand holding to the principals for anything they ask for, if they have that inclination or that thing fit in their mind that yes, they are working for the benefit of my child. They are making him ready for the professional careers. So this needs to be there in every principal's manner. That self-sacrifice needs to be there, and we should always talk about the personal interest of others as well. So in this self-sacrifice and transformational leadership, we have some corporations, we need to put in some extra efforts. Belongingness needs to be there. So you all need to have this exercise done in your schools as well, belongingness. Then how much teachers are belonging to that school or with you. So some teamwork, team exercises needs to be there, whether they even know each other or they're just coming for the sake of morning 8 to evening 4. So that needs to be seen, whether they are having the values towards the school or just for their own self. So that needs to be done. So small exercise should always be performed in the school. This will skip for the time being. Yes. So values and value system and transformational leadership. So what would be the different values we need to work upon? So every decision we are taking, it reflects to a value. Now, what would be the values? That how we recruit in our school, how we reward them, how we discipline everyone in our system, and how we communicate the thing. So everything we do, it always reflect the leadership values. The culture of a school is simply the visible expression of leadership values. So now I just need to ask, like, what are the 3 values do you want your school to be known for? And I want at least, if not, we can talk so in chat box at least. So what would be the 3 values you want your school to be known for?
Reena ji is writing moral values and social values.
Okay, ma'am. So your school should be known for moral values and social values. So whatever the morality is being there, how the socially, we can say, according to the sustainability, according to the CSR process, the students are working, and how socially they are aligned with other people. Very nice. I'm surprised, like,
You can unmute yourself also and then can say not a problem if you can't write. Kindness and empathy.
okay.
Bhargavi ji is writing kindness and empathy.
I think, yes, it would be respect for every individual, irrespective of who the person isn't standing in front of you, may it be a teacher, may it be a security personnel from the organization, it should be respect for everyone.
Respect
That's
for
the most important thing nowadays for this generation, actually.
Yes. So, what are we doing, ma'am? Datta ma'am, for this kindness and empathy, do we have any extra class for that so that it can imbibe into my students? Okay. Then we have academic excellence and cordial environment. Yes, that needs to be there. Empathetic and respectful. So these days we all talk about being very empathetic. How are we going to be empathetic? So that needs to be worked upon. That how my students are taking every person into a better manner. So these are the things that my school should be known for. And according to these, the parameters, the vision should be aligned then. And some exercises needs to be done. Because whatever in the end the teacher is going to reflect into the society, a student is going to reflect into the society, in the end it will come back to you only, okay, this was the principal of that school, or this is the one who is taking care of that school. So our school should always reflect in a very positive manner into the society. And according to those, we need to fix some some extracurricular or curricular activities so that these practices can be imbibed to the kids, to the parents, and to the, we can say, teachers. So with this value system, we all know that what are the different value system, how it works, how the selfish isolation from others would be exact opposite of going to into another state. So I'll just skip this because we have different modules. So yes, now I just wanted to say that transformational leadership is always going to create higher motivation. With higher motivation, there would be a greater innovation. With greater innovation, it will always lead to the better teamwork. Better teamwork is going to further chain up or pull up with a stronger culture. And stronger culture will always reflect the future leaders. However, it requires consistency, but it cannot be switched on and off. कि हाँ आज मैंने on कर दिया, after a year when we have to reflect some good results, then again I'll on it, right? So it should be not on and off. It should be consistent every time, every way, every moment, right? So people must experience in every day the leadership, the transactional leadership we are going to showcase to them. So, and one more thing, that we should not have some fixed traits or malleable traits, right? We should always should not potentially elitist or anti-democratic for any particular subset of teacher, because leaders might lack the required characteristics, but we should always be ready to learn things. We should always be ready to network. We should always be ready to get the clarity of the thing. So these are few limitations. We should not restrict ourselves to these limitations. So in the end, I would just like to say that we need to lead and inspire people, right? So building do not create some great schools, right? People create some great schools, and policies do not transform schools. Leadership transforms schools. Policies तो वहीं पे रह जाती हैं. So as principals, we have that privilege and responsibility of shaping the life. So let us not simply manage a school, but let us transform that school as well. So from this now we would moving to our next module, that would be transition to strategic planning. Firstly, we discussed about the transformational leadership. Now, how this leadership really need to work into the transitional strategic planning. What different planning is required? So give me only 2 minutes just to switch. So now we'll talk about the strategic planning and decision making. Leadership तो हो गई, but now how with those leadership, with those traits, whether I am really going to work upon things. So that needs to be discussed. So how do we convert that vision into action? For that, we move to strategic planning and decision making. So in this, we have, by end of this session, you will all understand the importance of effective decision making, how we are going to identify different factors who can influence my decisions, how we are going to reflect on their own decision making style. We need to even learn some practical frameworks for school-based decision making. We need to recognize the importance of ethical and responsible decisions as well. So let me just begin with a simple question, that how many decisions do you think you all make in a day? Being on a principal's chair, that how many decisions you make in a day?
Really countless, ma'am. We
Countless,
can't.
right? So it could be 20, 50, 100,
Depend-
more than that.
Every minute we make a decision, I guess.
That's true. So that is the system, right? Because the reality is that educational leaders make hundreds of decisions every day. Some are very small decisions, some are very critical decisions, and some affect a single student as well, right? And others can affect the entire school community. So these are the decisions we really make. And the quality of our leadership is often reflected in the quality of our decisions. Do we all agree with that? Yes? Okay. So now decision making is not simply choosing between options. It's not that we are playing some game and any option will choose. No, it takes hell of time. We need to really think of that how my decision is going to impact the other person. A small wrong decision can harm the other person or life, right? So decision making is choosing the best possible option while considering, is it my student? Is it a teacher? Is it a parents? Is it school policies? Either we are talking about ethics, either long-term consequences. So every major success or failure in a school can often be tracked back to a leadership decision itself, right? So think about the best decision you have made as a principal in the last 1 year. I would be really liking if we can give another 1 hour for this session, because if I'll just talk and deliver my presentation, we won't learn. So
The best decision that I made is allowing the students to participate in the community activities that happens around us. They involve in any events like Vinayak Chaturthi or something, like they give special time for us to perform in the area where all the neighbors also would come and see. So children, people will get to know about our school, and also the talent of the children was out there. That's a good decision that I made. Then on Independence Day, we also hoist a flag along with the community members apart from our school, where children also get the chance to give some speech or perform some drill or something. So that also improves their social skills.
So some new academic initiatives, right? Some
Yeah.
where it could be related to the community, because community is very important these days. So you took that was your best decision. I need one more person to speak on the same. Any good best decision they have made.
Shweta ji, would you like to? Yeah, Shweta ji.
Yes, hi. My name is 𝗟𝗲𝗱𝗲𝗍𝗂. So I would like to reflect on something that I did last year. Initially, the school that I used to lead, they had this concept of celebrating Halloween in a very fun and festive manner, where kids would just dress up, wear different fun costumes, and just come and party around. However, last year I added an aspect of charity bake sale with the Halloween concept, wherein the kids, along with their parents, they baked stuff, and the money that we collected from that charity bake sale actually went to a charity center. So, and before that, we taught the kids about financial literacy and the meaning of charity in its true sense. So we conducted proper trainings for the students, the participating ones. So I believe that is one of the best things that I have done. Just I can think of that.
Very nice. Very nice initiative.
That is a nice initiative, right? So these are small things that we have done best according to us as being principals, as being on this chair, right? Even sometimes what happened, the best decision by recruiting a teacher who would be very good in in aligning with my vision, right? Or we can say some new academic initiatives we have taken, or some different parent engagement programs we have run, where I have involved the stakeholders, or we can say some student well-being initiatives we have taken. So these are very successful decisions. So what made those decisions very successful? The community decision, that charity decision.
Right.
So it had.
Gayatri ji wants to say something. Yeah, Gayatri ji, please.
Yeah, in 𝗂𝗵𝗃, we started an initiative to plant trees on the students' birthdays. So on every birthday of every student, the child gets a fruit-bearing plant, and they plant it in the school. And it is called the Green Twin Initiative, which we
Wow.
started in our
Very
school.
nice. Very nice.
That is a very good, innovative decision you have taken, where the students will start connecting that, yes, this is my school, because I have planted on my birthday, right? So the emotional connect will start coming. So you all have made these decisions because you had some clear information, right? You had proper consultation of that, what will lead, what action, what thing would be there in future, and you all had the courage to act. So automatically you are very good leaders, right? Now we need that, why the decision making sometimes get very difficult. And as principals, our decisions are really black, either it would be white. And we often face some situations where what happens, that two good options exist. Either this is also good or this is also good. So that thing happens with us. Or either what happened, that information is always incomplete, or we sometimes lack some time. Time is very limited. Or everything is going on a very good and rosy way, but what happens, that stakeholders disagree with that thing. So that is what makes leadership a very challenging role for us. So for this, I had one case study planned for you all, but I don't know that how many of you will be able to participate. I'll just say that a parent demands that her child be promoted despite of poor academic performance. So what will happen? Teachers disagree. Management wants the parent's satisfaction, and the student is emotionally very we can say vulnerable. So what, as a principal, would you do? So if we can answer on these things.
Are you changing the slide, Samriti?
Yes, yes.
The slide is on the first itself.
Very nice. Okay. Let me just stop and.
Yeah, Shweta ji, Gayatri ji, you want to say something over here?
So when something like this case happens before the summer vacation, if the child is really weak, then what happens is I will ask the parent to take care of the child during the summer vacation and tell them that after the vacation I will have a test for the child, and I will just give the responsibility of the child to the parent. So then they will really understand where the child is lagging, and they will come to know that there's no point in promoting the child at this point of time. So they will withdraw their request for promoting the child into the next grade, because invariably we've tried all our best methods. We've tried everything, in spite of that, the child is not improving, it means that the child is not eligible for that particular grade. So they also will join hands, and the next year we'll say that let us join hands, and if the child is doing good next year, then we'll try for double promotion.
Okay, very nice, ma'am. So here you so we have 4 parameters in this, that factors. So you considered few factors or parameters. You consulted the parent, right? You even thought of that what would be the possible consequence, and then you came upon that what decision would you make. So this should be the framework whenever we're thinking for the parents management satisfaction, students emotionally vulnerability, the poor academic performance, that how the others will feel, and even the teacher to be considered. So good leaders do not make decisions based on pressures. So pressures should not be there. They make decision based on principles. So these were your principles which you always follow as a leader. So very nicely said. Now further we'll move that. This is what are
just a minute. Shweta ji, you want to add something over here, or should we move?
Yes, yes. A similar example, twisting the situation, I would like to discuss. Sometimes what happens during the end of the year, many parents may say to us that what my child has done in the school, they have not, done anything, or academically they are not at all reached anywhere. Sometimes it happens when we come across the parents. Then what I do is I call the parents and the child and then ask the parents, do you really feel so that in a year time we have done nothing with your child? There is a false claim, maybe due to fees discrepancy or anything like that. So I politely call the parent and ask them, do you really feel so? Then, I asked the child to pick the newspaper and read. The child was in grade 1, So grade 1, reading is something which every parent expects, that yes, the child should be able to read. And the child was reading. So then I asked the father, do you feel so it was only your input because of which child has started reading the newspaper? Then they understand, Otherwise, blindly saying that school has done nothing is like they take it. So I feel we need to make them understand what we have done in a very in a way which they understand, and they should not feel even bad about it. Although they say it in a tone which is not acceptable, but then again we need to change our tone and make them understand. We should not go with the same tone they are blaming us. So it helps.
very nice, ma'am. That is also a very nice way that we need to make them as well understand, right? So further moving on, we would be having that how we need to develop a school's vision and mission. So here is a step. Are the slides moving now?
Yeah, it's in the developing a school vision and mission.
Fine. And
We
then
are
there
on this
was
now?
yes. Then we are on step 2, right? Understand the school's identity.
Okay.
Yes? Okay.
It's not moving. It's the slide. I have told you now, the developing a.
Wait. Let me just check again. How about now?
Same slide is there, developing a school vision and mission.
Okay,
Now it's
developing a school
moving.
vision and mission, right? Fine.
Now it's moving on the third, developing a school. No, yeah.
Yes. So we all know that how the vision and mission needs to be developed, right? So because it is a very critical process that always define the core purpose, that what would be the purpose, what are the different values, how the aspiration of educational institution really need to work. So these statements further I have that are going to guide the school's strategic planning. Through strategic planning, we are going to go ahead into the next step, that would be the decision making. And then from decision making, the third part would be the daily operations, that how the operations work. So in this, we are talking about different steps and we have 6 steps. So step 1 is that we need to involve our stakeholders into that. Second is we need to understand the school's identity, that how my school is aligned, what would be the identity of my school. Third would be we need to develop the mission statement. Fourth step would be about developing the vision statement. Fifth, we need to review and refine again. And then sixth would be to communicate and implement those parameters. So what do we understand by involving stakeholders? So in this, we need to form a committee. We need to create a diverse team, including administrators, teachers, students, parents, and some community members. And from them, we need to conduct some surveys, some focus group surveys could be there, then some meetings follow-up would be there, so that we can get an idea that how the school community is really going to be formed. Second step is to understand the school's identity. For this, we need to conduct a SWOT analysis. SWOT is always strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So we need to analyze to understand the school's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. After understanding these, we need to reflect on our core values. That what core values we have and what beliefs are important to the school community. Then we need to have our third step that always talk about develop the mission statement. Mission statement should be always very clear, concise, and focused towards the purposes, that what is my purpose and what is the primary objective of that. That needs to be thought of, and with 4 parameters. First would be the purpose, second would be target audience, third would be key activities, and fourth would be the values and beliefs. So in this particular segment, we need to write कि school का purpose क्या है, why we are here, why we exist even. Second, who would be my target audience? The students, the families, the communities, which category, which area I am going to target. What income capabilities? My school should be known as the that was the movie in which there was some award shows and that, right? So it should come into that parameter, or it should serve as an innovative school. So that. Third would be the key activities, that what are the main activities or services which are going to be provided by the school. Either I'm going to focus only on the academics, either I would be focused into academics and co-curricular activities, either I would be focused on to the mixed approach. So that needs to be identified. And fourth is about values and beliefs, that what different values and beliefs are underpin the school's approach to education, how I'm going to align those things. So for example, I've just written here a mission statement. So any one of you can just read and let me know that the 4 parameters which we discussed, so are they aligning to this? So the mission statement here, it talks about to provide a nurturing and inclusive environment where students are empowered to reach their full potential through innovative teaching, rigorous academics, and a commitment to lifelong learning. So all my 4 parameters are aligned with this mission statement, right? Am I right in this?
Samriti, have you changed the slide?
Yes, the slide is on developing a school vision and mission.
Step 3. We are on the step 3.
Step 3, yeah. Example, can you read the example?
Yes, example mission statement.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's that only.
Okay.
So in this mission statement, my all parameters are involved. So further on 4th step, that is to develop the vision statement, that what would be my future goals, how long-term goals, how aspirations of the school is going to work on the longer tenure, what impact, what positive impact does the school is going to aim on its students and the broader community, and how the school is going to inspire and motivate its stakeholders to achieve the vision. So that is to develop the vision statement. Then we talked about the vision statement that leading educational institution recognized for fostering intellectual curiosity, critical thinking, and a passion for learning, preparing students to thrive in a dynamic and interconnected world. So I request every principal today to just go through their vision and mission statements once. If I can just have any school's vision or mission statement, are we following the new ones, or still it's going on like the old statements?
Anyone wants to add something over there? Shweta ji, Tabitha ji, anyone?
We have the handouts of vision and mission statement with us.
Yes, yes. Gayatri ji, Harita ji, anyone?
It's a common statement we all have, ma'am, and I think we need to tweak it because it's been some time. The new mission hasn't yet been framed.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So we need to create the new vision mission statements, right, for Gitanjali school group. So these we need to follow that what we are going to offer. So these are certain parameters for you all principals that you can take care of, that what my students require according to 2026, or we need to think for forward generation for 2030, for 2040. So according to those, the statements should be there. Sometimes what happens, we just follow the old versions of the mission and vision statements. And then the CBSE comes into the picture, and then they start asking, they question us that how this thing can align in this era. So that we need to keep in mind, because we are principals, we are leaders. We have those rights to talk to our management, because no one should question us. Management ne to de diya hai hame na school. The school is ours now. So it is my responsibility that whether we are working according to the current scenario or not. So that input needs to be given. That decision making, that strategic thinking needs to be aligned properly.
Principal GIS is writing service before self, the mission or the vision of the school. Service before self.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is one more Gayatri here. So
Yeah.
basically, the vision is service before self, and the mission is to provide holistic development to each student and have a well-mannered and well-disciplined environment in the school. So that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if we
Very
can
true.
see that, okay, fine, that, and how old it is?
I believe this is the one which is the recent one.
Okay, so this is the recent one, fine. So we are developing our students holistically, right? Holistic will automatically involve our all innovation,
All the
excellence,
parameters.
all the parameters. So already that is there. And service
Yeah.
before self. So that is that we need to provide everything to others before we think about our own selves. So same principles need to be those. Thinking of our own selves, no, we need to think about the teachers as well. We need to think about parents. We need to think about the students, right? So that's what we are giving. So that vision and mission statement we have already there. And what are ma'am, long-term goals? What are the objectives? Are there any objectives also framed for the same?
Yeah, objectives are there. It says inclusiveness, resilience, respect, responsibility, commitment, care, and ambitious.
Okay. So these all align. So that we need to see that whether the alignment is there or not. And yes, the
Yeah.
alignment is there. Very nice.
So it says that we principals are more than being leader. Apart from being leaders, we are more of facilitators as well.
Yes, that is the role.
Yeah, so that is the utmost role we are into.
Okay, fine. So we already have this new vision mission for the school. Okay, so then review and refine. So already it has been reviewed, mission and vision, because we already have the committee and broader school community talking about that. Feedback has been taken and refinement has been done on that vision. And the last step 6 is that how to communicate and implement. So we need to have a finalized mission and vision statements and it should go to entire school community. And how it will go, how it will reach? Through newsletters, through school websites, through different meetings, through different communication channels, because we need to make aware every principal, each student, each teacher, and each parent about your goals, because only then that certain set of stakeholders would be hand-holding you. If that vision statement would be only refined or be with you only, or the school, or only on the notice boards, then no one will feel and no belongingness would be there. So that would be first, communicate. We need to communicate with different channels. Second would be embed in school culture with some policies, with some practices, with some school culture. So these mission and vision should start reflecting that what are the daily activities, daily planning, daily decision-making processes being done. So automatically it will start imbibing into the school culture as well. And the third would be a regular review. Because what happened that periodically review and updating the mission and vision statements to ensure that they remain more relevant and aligned with schools' evolving goal, we need to review them, that whether these activities are being done properly or not. So that is very important point. Because once it's done, so we have the inclusivity, we have clarity, we have consistency, and the inspiration that will give a school community motivation to achieve the excellence in our particular region. So that's why developing a school's vision and mission is very important for the school. Now further, we'll start with the SMART goals. What are SMART goals? How we work into the SMART goals for academic improvement. So SMART itself talk about S is for specific, right? M is measurable, which is always measured in different quantified values. A talks about the attainable, what we have attained. And R talks about the relevant, whether was it relevant for me or not. And T stands for the time-based. At what time frame my particular decision, my planning has ensured the success of my students, my faculties, my staff, my parents. So that needs to be done. So every principal needs to work on this SMART framework. So specific how? Because we need to make our goals very clear and very specific. We need to define exactly that what we want to achieve. So that would be the specific. M, that is the measurable, that how we are going to measure it. What are the different rubrics? How the taxonomies are being followed? How the progression is going on? So that needs to be quantified. That needs to be measured in a particular domain area. Third is achievable, whether this goal is realistic and attainable, or either we are just creating it just for the sake of showcasing. So no, that should not be there. We need to see that, yes, these are the resources, these are the abilities, and yes, this is a achievable and real thing. Fourth is the relevant, that whether our goal is relevant to our broader academic objectives which we had, or it is only aligning to my personal or educational aspirations. So that we need to be think or discuss. And last was the time bound, that a certain set of deadline for achieving your goals should be there. Quarterly, monthly, fortnightly, and how we are going to achieve that. So whenever we have some certain sort of decisions coming to us, so we need to put into these parameters, and we would be easily making it as a strategic decision maker. Moving ahead, so this we can just skip for the time being because there are 2 more modules I need to. Then we discussed about SWOT, that what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So that is also a tool where we evaluate the internal and external forces which can affect an educational institution's ability to achieve its goals. Then how the strengths are being calculated. So there are few attributes. First is the quality of teaching staff, whether my teachers are having that quality or not. Second, the curriculum and programs, what I am offering and what the different school is offering. Third, the facilities and resources, how I am different from other schools in my area. Fourth is the community engagement, how I am engaged. Fifth would be student achievement, whether my students are achieving only those things that they are limited to all the certification programs, all dynamics, all competition limited to my school area, or no, they are going into different regions, different areas, different national level, international level. So that could be your strength. Sixth, how the reputation of my school is among or in my area. That needs to be your strength. And seventh is the leadership and governance, how the flow works in actual. So these could be the strengths of your school. Second, we'll talk about that weaknesses. Now, what are the weaknesses? Weaknesses are always our internal forces that could hinder the institution performances. So in a school level, the different weaknesses would always talk about the funding and budget constraint, that we don't have funds to send our we can say students for an exhibition, right? Or we don't have funds for getting our students to get into a conference. So that could be the constraint. Budget hi nahi hai. Second, the teacher turnover ratio. We are not able to retain a good faculty, a good teacher. So that. Third would be the infrastructure issues, because these is everyone require good AC classrooms, good facilities, good water system, right? So that could be the thing. Fourth would be the curriculum gap, whether it has been mapped or taken approval from the industry experts or not. Because nowadays the competition has been so much there into the system that industry people require those students only who know certain things, right? So that gap needs to be mitigated on an early age only, because when we teach and when students take admission in college, so we always talk about that, acha, school mein isko ye karwaya nahi hai kya? That the student doesn't know, right? Habits, that attitude. So we always talk about this thing only, that acha, school mein inko sikhaya nahi hai, or either the school is not following this thing, or either the school has not given such skills or tools to the student which should make him or her ready for the industry. So that curriculum gaps needs to be mitigated generally. Then fifth, the student engagement. Sometimes students don't even speak. So that is a very big issue or concern these days. Whenever your students would be going in higher college level, so there we have discussions. And if a student is not talking or student is not engaging, so that is also a very big gap. Then we start talking about school, that acha kaun se school se the student has come up, because whether they are not having this practice of making a student stand and talking or engaging into different activities. So these weaknesses we need to find out in our own schools, that whether these weaknesses are there or not. Then sixth is administrative inefficiencies. What are different ineffective things which are there? And seventh would be diversity and inclusion. That could be the weakness. So, and in talking to first, second, third, and so these are like which goes to a management thing. But I believe fourth parameter, the curriculum gap, student engagement, administrative inefficiencies, and diversity and inclusion. So that is a principal's role to sit and analyze properly, because you guys can reduce this weakness from your school easily. So these would be the weaknesses. Next, we talk about the opportunities. So opportunities will always be our external factors, that which you can capitalize, like technology advancements, partnerships and collaborations, that either we are partnering with different IBM lab, Apple lab, or Microsoft, or how much collaboration being done, how many different certification my students are going to get. So these are the different opportunities. Funding opportunities. My teachers have written an amazing project and it is going to get delivered in some hackathons. So either we are going to get some fundings or not. So yes, that is an opportunity for your school to showcase. Then the fourth is the educational trends, that whether I am providing the traditional education to my students or the new modern education where my student is reading through case studies, through research articles, is that it is being validated. Because if we talk about into the culture, we still prescribe the old model books, right? And the information in that is also old. It's not the new one. And we teach that only. So no, why to teach that? Let's teach the students from some Harvard case studies, from some research papers where the information is new, information is unique, the skills are being imparted to my students. So that is also an opportunity for you all to get imbibed in your school so that your school can benchmark in your particular regions. Fifth is student recruitment. How we are recruiting student. Either वो batch on batch चला आ रहा है and the promotion is getting on of a student, or either we are again taking interviews of the student. We are making them ready for the industry. Yes, we know that time is far away. हमें school 10th करा दिया, 12th करा दिया, and they are done with us. No, that should not be the mindset of we being teachers, we being principals. No, because at the end, we all, once we get old, हम लोग क्या करते हैं? हमें भी वही होता है, अरे यार, school time was much more better and we had very good old memories. We are proud alumni of certain school. School हमेशा याद रहता है, friends हमेशा याद रहते हैं, the learnings we have developed हमेशा याद रहते हैं, और वो principles हमेशा याद रहते हैं. So we need to we need to brainstorm again that yes, what we are doing. Then the professional development, what different skills you are providing, either some internship programs you are providing to the student, some capsule models you are providing to the student for your preparatory sessions. And then seventh, we talk about the policy changes, which happens, right? So those are the opportunities. Next, we'll talk about the threats. So threats are into the external forces that could always talk about the negatively impact of the institution. For example, threat could be our competition, दूसरे school का, economic downturns, some change in demographics, some policy and regulatory changes, or technological disruptions, public perceptions, and sometimes even the health and safety concerns. So these measures need to be taken care well of, that how my school is not having any threat and we are adversing onto the things. So this was a SWOT analysis with that. And then moving ahead to next, I'll just, we'll just skip these all. Okay, so I have one more information that are different decision-making models and frameworks. So in a school hierarchy, we can always use SWOT analysis. We can have rational decision-making models. We should have intuitive decision-making models. Then we have pest analysis done. We can do cost-benefit analysis. And even the sixth, which is very important, that is six thinking hats. So for this, so these are different modules for decision making. Today, we would not be covering these because every module, every model, every framework is very lengthy, right? So, but these are the different models the decision making can take place if we put our school scenarios into these pictures, these segments, these rubrics. So we can get out with the best result without wasting a time. So this, and then we'll just come to, yes. So decision criteria. So decision criteria are the standards, or we can say the benchmarks we need to evaluate, or we can say we can use to comprehend the things successfully, that how the things are going into a certain direction. And these criteria always help in systematically assessing the alternatives, right? That what would be the best, what would be the outcome of the situation. So I just need to know from you all now that how this total align, alignment is done. So, as educational leaders, we make decisions every day, right? Some decisions affect our schedules, some affects budgets, some affects the careers, and some affect lives. So we need to really think that we should be remembered because they never made mistakes. So those are always considered as the great principles, or the decisions they made was with full of integrity, courage, and wisdom. Because good leaders always make the decisions, and great leaders always make some responsible decisions. So I have a worksheet I would just love to share with you all, and we would have a small exercise on that. Let me just show. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. So this is a exercise, small exercise where we'll talk about the decision making, and we are going to rate ourselves itself. First, you need to just name. So that is random because I cannot give you handout. If I would have been there invited, so we would have done it in person. So here we'll talk about that. Rate your decision making. 1, so it would be need to work on it. 2 would be like okay. 3 rating scale, that is considered as an average. 4, if you're giving you yourself a 4, that would be good, and 5 would be the excellent one. So here you can put in your score matrix. So I have only 3 questions for you all. That provide an example of a decision you made that was in the best interest of yourself and others. So you can just write it down for yourself in your concept note, in your mobile, in your notes, or anywhere. And you can just then give yourself a score. And then the second question is that what good decisions have you made about your own behaviors? So that you can mention. And the third is that what does it mean to be a responsible decision maker?
Can we make it in the full screen, Smriti ji?
I'll just check. This is the full one.
Everybody can't see it, na? Yeah.
Or
Or we can share this worksheet with the teacher principals in the group also.
ma'am,
WhatsApp.
I just want abhi agar hum log
नहीं, they will do in case if they.
Should I send? I need to. It might take time because
Everybody can see the worksheet. 3 questions. Yes, they can.
They can say, na?
Yes. If you can switch off your this video, mother, then it will be on the full screen.
Wait, मैं फिर से एक बार align कर. Or let me just click a picture and send on this.
Yeah, it was visible. Just make it little zoom. We can zoom it also.
Wait. Better?
Everybody can see it now? Gayatri ji, Raina ji, everybody? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, we can see it.
Okay. Are we done with it? How much is the time, Samriti ji, for this? Any time duration?
Oh, no, for principals, I cannot give any time duration. Because we are already running out of time. It's
Yeah, that's why
3:40.
I was saying. That's why I was saying.
And I have 2 modules to cover. So
Okay.
I believe Gayatri ma'am has done. So ma'am
Yeah,
can
she has
share.
done it.
I believe you can either share this in the group so that everybody can participate, because I could understand few are even busy with other works also. However, I have done, but I think everybody should be there.
So we can start with you, Gayatri ji. All will reply in the group, or they will.
So the first answer which I said is like best, a decision which I took in the best interest of others, and for me as as a principal of a campus, is like I never gave work to be taken back home for the teachers. Because see, they have their own families to take care once they are back home. So it became better for them as well as for me to analyze, have better analysis of it, and they started doing in a more meticulous manner, doing it within the time frame. So I don't think it becomes more productive work when you elongate and prolong it after the time, the working hours. So that was one thing which I have always followed, and even now I'm following. I never give work for teachers to be taken back home. So that is one. And I feel proud about it. Then next is, what good decision have you made about your own behavior? So it is always that, as I said, we are more compassionate towards our teachers, towards our staff members, and also taking care of the parents' interest and the students as well. Whatever the management's vision and mission was there, we share it, and we move forward with it, and we take it towards our stakeholders, and we ensure that it is a community task now. So my behavior was that, I used to be more emotional about it, and I've always understood that when you put your emotions in your work, you become more, compassionate, and you just kind of ensure that you do it in the best ways of in your own methods. So I have kind of just dissociated myself somehow with it, and I've become a bit more professional in that context. And the third one is, what does it mean to be a responsible decision maker? Definitely you need to understand the pros and cons, and not just about yourself, it's about all the stakeholders, and take a decision which is in the best interest of everybody collectively. So that is all.
Okay, very nice, ma'am. What I'll do, I'll just share with Twinkle ma'am this worksheet. So further, the rest of the principals can also, if they can just send it back, because I need to move on to the next module now.
Yeah, please.
So much, Gayatri ma'am, for being participative. Yeah. So now we'll just talk about the effective communication, that how we need to communicate further, right? We have learned today the transformational leadership, how the transformation process talks about how the SWOT analysis, how the strategic thinking works. And now we'll talk about that, how the communication plays an important role. So Twinkle ma'am, let me know if it's moving or not. Moving?
Yeah, 7 C's. Yeah.
Yes. So everyone knows that what is 7 C's, that how the C's work upon. But sometimes we need to relearn again, because we forgot on our daily to daily routine. We forgot that how the effective communication really need to work upon. So some brush up needs to be done for 7 C's also. And when we talk about the effective communication, one thing that comes in mind, that what are the basic principles? Principles ही हमें नहीं पता होते of effective communication. And these principles always tell us that how your message can become effective for your target group. And target group is my teachers, my stakeholders, all my stakeholders, right? तो इन तक हमें कैसे वो मैसेज पहुंचाना है, that we need to be very well sure of. And these principles also tell us about our style and importance of that message. अगर मैं बहुत ही reluctantly बोलूँ तो ठीक है, someone will not go ahead with the things, right? So that's why these principles commonly known as the 7 C's of effective communication, that how the communication needs to be very effective. Now, let me just ask you a simple question, that how many school problems are actually communicated, or we can say actually the communication problems disguised as other problems? So, for example, we can say that a parent complaint often start with miscommunication, right? So always there is a miscommunication. A teacher's dissatisfaction often begins with poor communication itself. Or we can say then a student's conflict frequently results from communication gaps itself. तभी आपके पास वो problems आती हैं. And a leadership success always depends not only on what we do, but on how effectively we communicate. So communication is the bridge between the intention and the understanding of that problem. For example, many of you have said something with your best intention, but the other person has misunderstood completely. So these things happen with us, right? So can we just raise hands if these things happen, that हमने कुछ बोला है, बहुत अच्छे, हमारा best intention है, we want best for that person, but certainly he has misunderstood with the thing, and
मेरे साथ हमेशा ही ऐसा होता है.
Same with me, same with me also. I'll तो
मेरे साथ तो 100 में
hands.
से 99 ऐसा ही होता है
ऐसा ही होता है, right? So why this is happening? We need to understand that gap. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है हमारे साथ, right? Twinkle मैम आपके लिए नहीं ये आज.
Exactly. मैं तो जानना, I want to know why.
Yeah. So that is the challenge of communication. Communication is not like what we say, but communication is what the other person is understanding. उसका thought process, उसकी understanding कैसे है, हमने तो अच्छे से ही बोला था, right? So that's why we need to understand that. And in this, we talk about the 7 C's, that whenever we are talking, it should be with the completeness. It should be very concise. It should be consideration, right? It should be concreteness should be there. Clarity should be there. Courtesy should be there. And correctness of the module or of the pitch should be there. So, and why this communication matters in leadership? Because as principals, we communicate every day, be it in staff meetings, parents meetings, student assemblies, teacher evaluation, conflict situations are there, or we can say strategic planning discussion. So every interaction either builds trust or either it even weakens that trust. So leadership is communicated before it is demonstrated. And we need to see that how this happens. So first, we need to master these principles, that our communication becomes more impactful, professional, and influential. So clarity. First is that clarity, C1. So that clarity means the message is easy to understand. Many leaders assure or assume people understand simply because they spoke. So that is not communication. Communication happens when understanding occurs. For example, let's take an example. Instead of saying that we need better outcomes, right? But we can say that our goal is to improve grade 10 mathematics result by 10% of this academic year. So we have given all C's in this one statement. We need better outcomes, तो एक normal statement होगी ना, उसे पता ही नहीं चलेगा. So automatically the misunderstanding will happen. The instruction is automatically very unclear, right? So we need to be very particular that what we are telling to the person. So because clarity always reduces the confusion. So that was the clarity. In this clarity, we have that 5 W's, that who, what, when, where, why. So there is a mechanism that who are involved, what is the information, when it is required, where it needs to be transformed, and why it is required. So we talk about 5 W's in this first parameter. Then we come to our second part, that is conciseness. Conciseness means being brief without losing the meaning. So many leaders provide too much of information and people remember only short and powerful messages. Let's take an example for this also. Instead of a 15 minutes explanation, we need all assessment reports submitted by Friday at 4 p.m. That would be better because it is very simple, direct, and an effective manner. So, like for example, what communication in your school could be very simplified. So that should be directly shared rather than taking a 15 minutes ka big discussion. Then we'll go to our next step. We need to avoid wordy expressions. We need to include only relevant material and avoid unnecessary repetition. That should not be there. Then we'll move to the third C, that is consideration. So consideration is that how we are considering those things properly. Either the receiver interest or intention is related to me, or it is very important in any effective communication while writing a message, or either we are keeping in mind. So this is also a very important aspect into the consideration third part. And in this, we always focus on you instead of I or we. And always we show the audience benefits of interest of the receiver, that who is going to receive that information. And we emphasize on positive parts and the pleasant facts that have. Using you always help us, matlab you only. But overuse can sometimes lead to a negative reaction as well. So that would be the thing for consideration. And then moving to next part, that is the concreteness, that how concrete we are, how the communication is specific and evidence based. For example, in this, parents are unhappy. Directly we are giving a statement, but what we can say that according to our survey, say 42% of parents requested more communication regarding the assessments which have happened. So it will communicate proper channel. It will tell the concreteness of that situation. So that should be there always. Then we'll skip this. Clarity. Now clarity is always that in an effective communication, that is very effective, that how clear our message is, that how we are assuring it that the things are moving ahead into a particular sense, and whether whatever we are speaking that is effective or not. So always we need to choose some familiar and easy words rather than some jargons. Jargons should not be used. We need to avoid those jargons whenever we are talking. And then, for example, people would be very much familiar with these terms, after, but sometimes we use subsequent. So information will lag ho jati hai. Hame to pata hai what is the meaning of subsequent, but after is also the same. Home, or either we are using what is your domicile. Domicile कुछ लोगों को नहीं पता है, right? So that would be a jargon again. For example को EG लिख दिया हमने तो information misinterrupt हो सकती है. Now we all know about the pay, कि मेरा कितना pay है, but sometimes that how much I'm going to get after this work done. But some people can talk about what would be my remuneration, right? So that needs to be avoided. Or invoice, everyone knows what is invoice, but some people say the statement for payments. So वो clarity miss हो जाती है चीजों में. So that we should not use. Then we'll come to courtesy. Courtesy kya hai? That knowing your audience allows you to use some statements of courtesy that we need to be well versed of. For example, please, thank you, because उससे कोई भी छोटा बड़ा नहीं होता, but these are socially accepted manners, we can say. Everyone accept these things. If we being very courteous because it always reflects the respect. Even your difficult conversations can be handled respectfully, trust me. For example, instead of saying that you are wrong, you can directly say to a person that I appreciate your perspective. Let's explore this further. So in this, automatically we are giving a message that is respecting the things and strengthening the relationship, right? So this is the thing. We need to be very courteous or polite when we are talking. The tone should be a courteous one. The things which we are anticipating to other people should be very courteous. And how to generate? Be sincerely tactful, thoughtful, and appreciative whenever people are doing good. At least send them a message back, revert them back. Thank you for this. Or some emoji or some reactions can be put on, right? We need to use our expressions that show respect for others. Everyone are on high level of their life, their professional things, right? But still the respect needs to be reflected. And then the third is choose non-discriminatory expressions, the profound tone or pitch that we need to remove. So we need to be sincerely very tactful, thoughtful, and appreciative whenever we are doing these things. For example, tactfulness and blunt and more tactful would be stupid letter, I can't understand. Why we need to say that? Why that tone needs to be used? It should be, I should understand it as there is no confusing word in this letter. Could you please explain it once again? So that is a more better version we can talk about. Then first statement on this side is, it's your fault. You did not properly read my latest facts. But we can more tactfully reflect my message by, sometimes my wording is not precise. Let me try again, right? So how thoughtfully and through appreciation I have delivered my message that I need to see. And the seventh is the correctness, that how core correctness, how proper grammar, proper punctuation, proper spellings are being there. Whether we are using the right level of language, present, past, future is being used properly or not. Whether we need to check about the facts, figures, and words, या हम कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं, just to reflect the thing that yes, I am a leader and I am talking. No, we need to be knowledgeable enough. We need to quantify certain things before speaking with people. And the third would be to maintain the acceptable writing mechanism also. That what are the tone, what is the thing? Dear sir, the salutations, dear ma'am, thank you, humbly. So some mechanism which are globally recognized, so that needs to be there. For example, an angry parent arrives and demanding immediate action. So what would you first say? You can say that I understand your concern. Let us discuss the matter calmly, right? So that could be more professional, more accountable on your position. Then we have the right level of language, the formal, informal, and substandard. And we'll skip. What are the facts, figures, and accuracy of a document that we need to verify statistically, double check your totals, and then only provide any information further. And proper use of confusing words. For example, a, and, where it are used. Use before consonants, and the consonant sound should be for a long U, right? So these are some of the terminologies we can use. And further, I would always say that there are some terminologies we use, but they need to be changed. And the formula for principles is that before speaking, ask the question that whether is it true, is it necessary, is it helpful, or is it respectful? So for all four answers are yes, then only proceed. For example, I just have a story for you all that a principal once told me that the biggest mistake I made was assuming people understood what I meant, right? So leadership communication requires intentionality. Never assume, always clarify. So that could be the thing. So I would just now want one statement that the communication habit you all need to improve should be filled, that what you need to fill into that gap. Only that then the communication would be more better, more polite and more clarity version, right? That's all. And I have one more worksheet for you all, that how the effective
You can forward it to me, Samriti
Yeah.
ji. I will forward it in the group,
Yes,
please.
I'll just forward to you. Then you can just get the feedbacks from all the principals.
Yes.
And further, just that's all we did today, the transformational leadership, how we need to improve, right? Then we went from transformational to strategic decision making, where we talked about frameworks, the models we discussed, then how the effective communication really work, the 7 C's, how we need to make everyone understand. So over the last 2 hours, we have already explored some leadership pillars. We discussed about the transformational leaders, that how they inspire people, because we really need to inspire people with that. Then second was effective leaders. We need to make some responsible decisions on this chair when we are sitting. Then we discussed about that how strong stakeholder relationship needs to be built, which is going to create a successful schools, which is going to benchmark our school from others. And then finally, we discovered about that how communication is going to become that bridge between your vision and the reality picture, right? So my final question is that what is going to happen after today's workshop? Are we really going to work upon this thing, or?
I mean, now we will process what you have told us in 2 hours. We have not processed anything till now. We are just listening.
As Rekha ma'am said sometime before that, we wanted some dust to be removed from us.
Yes, exactly.
So it's the same feeling, and we reciprocate with her. That's all. So thank you so much for being there and being so passionately speaking about things and being so patient with us. Thank you so much.
And if we summarize the session, leadership is not about the title. It's about the building trust, empowering others, and creating spaces where students and teachers both thrive. That's the heart of the transformational leadership we covered. Am I right? Am I right, Samriti ji?
Yes, that is. I have led a team of, I can say, 400 people, 50,000 students, and then many more. So I know being onto the chair, how does it feel, and how one minute taking decision can reflect into our future things, future policies, right? So
And see the dedication of all the principals. They are in the school, working also and attending the session also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had one session with students as well for leadership, right? So that time also I quoted one thing, that once you are into a leadership position now, you should say that I am an octopus now, because I have 8 hands and I can
multitasking.
multiple tasks.
Multitasking,
Be
yes.
octopus every time and do multitasking. Only that is the kick you can get and motivate yourself with the things.
Before the responsibility you feel नहीं हो पाएगा, but when you get the responsibility आप कर लेते हैं, वो हो जाता है आपसे.
Yes.
Rekha ji, your expert comment.
Nothing,
Rekha
ma'am.
ji, Gayatri ji, yes.
Nothing, ma'am. As leaders,
now we want everybody to speak something.
As leaders, it is an ongoing process, and we think that the morning we step into the school, the things are settled and everything is fine. But we never know actually. It's a platter with nice things. And I always give this example, which I always like. It is like a popcorn. Leadership is like a popcorn. The last popcorn, when it will burst, God only knows. So be ready for that. So it can be in the bowl, it can burst, or it can be in the cooker when you have opened, then also. So
Yes.
leadership is something, it's ever ongoing, challenging. But if the thing is, you should have a positive attitude, keep a smile on the face, and the things will work on. I think love can make things work rather than screaming, shouting, and it should be the last thing.
Option, it should be the last option you have.
I have the last option. My smile works.
Well, that too we can see.
Okay.
That too we can see. Gayatri ji is also accepting. Yes, that is working.
Yeah, that's what we are into. Thankless responsibilities we have, and we always keep that smile on our face, and that's what keep us going. Yeah.
That's the best part of being principal. Always smiling. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Samriti ji, ending note, you want to add something over here?
I already did the part. I wanted to
I
cover
would,
more.
yeah.
I wanted to discuss with more case studies, some scenario-based things we could have done, but I can totally understand that
Yeah,
you
it's,
all have some responsibilities on your shoulders and you are sitting like in school right now dealing with different things. So, but most probably next time, whenever we'll get a chance so that we can have more of a workshop where hands-on things we can discuss, we can do some exercises which will give a better understanding of leadership, because everyone know that how to lead. But sometimes what happens, we get stuck with very small things, and then we get that thing stuck into our head. So we need to really work upon on those things as well. That's all, and thank you for
yeah,
being very
thank you.
good.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us and giving your time and energies and asking questions. Thank you, everyone, and we will be sending, yeah, the worksheet also.
Two worksheets I'll send.
Yeah, two. Again, there will be some homework.
Yes.
Yes. And I want all of you, please mention your name in the group so that we can issue the certificates in your names by evening. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and for your time and energies. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.